I would like to know, I wish that she would give us a definitive time when Sebastian started having these issues of using the bathroom on himself.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny, but whenever a potty trained child starts wetting the bed and starts soiling themselves, it is almost always a sign of abuse. Whether it is physical or in nature, it is a sign of abuse.
Well, that was where I was going with it. Trauma sign. Not necessarily, hopefully not, I pray to God that he wasn't being, SA. But it doesn't have to necessarily be SA. It could just be, mistreatment. But thank you, Virginia. You pretty much said where I was going. Like, it's good that, what's regression mean? Can somebody tell me what that is?
That means that they lose, whenever someone regresses, instead of aggressing where you go forward, when you regress, you go back.
What caused him to go into regression? That's what I want to know.
There are certain environmental factors, like certain types of mold and certain types of toxins that can cause that, but for it to periodically be happening to where he was potty trained and then regressed again and potty trained, something else was going on.
Yeah, that's
something
all.
else was going on.
And don't tell me he's on the spectrum. Can you hear me? It's kind of mumbled. I can't hear.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'll take my headphones off. Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's great. Great.
Yes. Okay. Sleep regression normally happens when children are going through changes. Normally that happens in smaller children. Changing the time, like when they 1 hour ahead or 1 hour forward type of situation, the time change that causes a sleep regression. Any type of disturbance in the home that causes a sleep regressions. That goes for little children. When the kids are older, sleep regression happens when they move, when it needs to change medication. That could be like medication to sleep, or it could also happen if there is something going on in the home, or such as abuse, SA, other things. But we also need to keep in mind the hormones too. Those are the common causes that will cause sleep regression. And I don't know that SA, or I hope and pray to God that it's not it, but this child was being abused. But yeah,
what do you think?
Sleep regression and and behavior regression, any type of regression, it happens during those time. And it doesn't seem like Chris was very not nice to him. It also seems like his mom was just letting Chris just control the whole house, what he did, what to eat, when he eats, what he wear, what he didn't wear, everything. That kid didn't have any control over anything. And when he's throwing this, what he says, those temper tantrums and stomping or something, that is a normal response from a child who's with autism. On top of that he's communicating something and nobody's paying attention to him. Of course he's gonna be he's gonna be mad and other things. It seems like it's very common in that household to mock him, to make fun of him, to, I'm gonna go along and say, bully him, humiliate him. And those are things that completely change the child's behavior.
Miss O,
Yes.
I was just thinking about, as you were saying that, right? Like, would it not be interesting? I would be very curious to know if he would. We got a bad echo, you guys. Hold on.
Would it not be interesting?
Can y'all guys make sure that your YouTube is turned off, like, because YouTube causes to have an echo.
Yeah, I have a backup somewhere.
Hang on. Oh boy. I think Miss O might have had YouTube on. Like, okay, guys, if you come up on panel, make sure that you turn your YouTube off, because you exit out of YouTube, because it'll cause it to echo like that. But real quick, I'll play it again. I was gonna say it would be very interesting to find out what if he regressed every time Chris come home.
Praying
Like,
Paula.
I wonder if that was the changes,
Praying Paula. 8 passengers' kids didn't look abused either. They always look clean and happy too. But look what was going on.
Oh yeah, you cannot judge a book by its cover. Absolutely not. Emmy Jo said there was no regression. Chris used the pull-ups as humiliation punishment because either he or Katie kept finding balled up tissues in his bed, and Chris made a scene and humiliated him with diapers. What the freak? Where'd you find that out, Emmy? That really pisses me off. That really pisses me off. I would like to know, I wish that she would give us a definitive time when Sebastian started having these issues of using the bathroom on himself.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny, but whenever.
So here, first of all, she doesn't know you shit about when Sebastian started having potty training issues. But if you paid attention to the interviews and stuff, you would know when it was. But what we're going to cover is what is said next.
And again, I'm not trying to be funny, but whenever a potty trained child starts wetting the bed and starts soiling themselves, it is almost always a sign of abuse. Whether it is physical or as in nature, it is a sign of abuse.
Well, that was where I was going.
Who just said that?
Trauma sign. Not necessarily.
Doesn't matter. I don't know who said it on her panel, but she said yes. That's where I'm going with it. So let's hear that one more time.
Sign of abuse. Whether it is physical or as in nature, it is a sign of abuse.
Well, that was where I was going with it. Trauma sign. Not necessarily. Hopefully not. I pray to God that he wasn't being, SA. But it doesn't have to necessarily be SA. It could just be, mistreatment. But thank you, Regina. You pretty much said where I was going. Like, I just, it's good. What's regression mean? Can somebody tell me what that is?
Girl!
That means that they lose, whenever someone regresses, instead of...
Do they know about it? I'm so sorry.
I'm getting ready to. I'm getting ready. Give me 2 more seconds. I'm going to show that. Give me 2 more seconds. Give it over here. That's why I turned my camera off.
What caused him to go into regression? That's what I want to know.
There are certain environmental factors, like certain types of mold and certain types of toxins that can cause that. But for it to periodically be happening where he was potty trained and then regressed again and potty trained, something else was going on.
Yeah, that's
Something
all.
else was going on.
And don't tell me he's on the spectrum. It's kind of
Okay, so you can barely hear her say it there, and she says, and don't tell me it's because he was on the spectrum. Bitch, it's not because he was on the spectrum. It's because if you knew enough to dig into all the things stated about Sebastian before you started covering him, you would know about his terminal chromosome 6q27 deletion. How do you not know this? You're over there talking about his wetting himself and having those issues as if it's sexual fucking assault. Are you kidding me? There is no other indication of that. Nothing of the sort has been stated by anyone. And y'all are over there chit-chatting about it like, oh, this is a strong possibility. And don't tell me it's because of his autism.
Get out of here.
Do your freaking research before you talk about these situations.
Isn't that just what we were just talking about, Deeds? People talking about JLR so skilled and this one's so skilled at true crime. Y'all don't even look up the basics. The basics. Nothing. This child had a disability. He was just diagnosed, you dummy.
Well,
Yeah, just
diagnosed with
recently.
the autism they're acting like he is a baby, like he is incompetent, when all of the parents have stated he is extremely high functioning. He was just diagnosed last year with autism.
and
That is not new, but this situation, the chromosome deletion, he was diagnosed at 6 months with that. He has been dealing with ongoing issues his entire life stemming from the chromosome deletion, including wetting his pants. Fucking sexual assault on this kid. Are you kidding me?
and the
Believe
parent.
it.
Both of
And
them.
those are all moms up there. Those
And
are
the
like
parents.
parents and stuff.
And
They're
bro,
grown-ups, too.
we just said we don't know who is listening to our streams. Family was in Johnson's stream earlier. Neighbor was in Granny's stream earlier. We don't know who's listening. And you think that these family, they should have to hear, like they're thirsting, they're craving to hear about their son or just have some info. So they turn to this platform to listen and try to glean some more from it. And they tune into a stream who is not only putting sexual assault on their child, their loved one. Where do you think that they're alleging that I'm not saying a sexual assault, maybe some other abuse. Where are you alleging that's coming?
Fatal Vanilla or Fatal Velvet, I don't know what the name is. They asked what the chromosome issue is. It's a disability, a chromosomal issue that is a deletion that he's missing and it's very rare and it's serious and it does cause a lot of it can cause body like a
Facial dysmorphia, organ dysmorphia.
Yes.
There's so much more to it than just this little blip here. Like I said, take the time. He has chromosome 6q27 deletion syndrome. Take the time to look into that before you start slinging accusations on him, on his family, or on anyone that has ever been connected to. Like, look at all the ones I've clicked on to research what that is. The second we found out what it was.
Takes typing it in.
And I have not been doing this for 6 hours a night, every night.
Exactly.
Night until the wheels fall off, but I still take the time to look it up. I have
And you
said,
see how much Deeds looked up? Because we were in this chat just a few nights ago.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned the chromosome deletion, but Deeds was in the middle of her stream. I looked it up and sent her the smallest blurb. Look at all the research she's done.
oh yeah,
Now-
since then I've looked at multiple pages on it.
Yeah, and you got all these people covering it night after night, collecting super chat, views, and y'all don't even know. You don't
Do
even
you even know he has it? Do you even know he has it? And
Ooh,
that
that's a
could
good question.
play into a lot of things, y'all. And it just angered me hearing that.